Which Mavericks are poised for a breakout season? We'll discuss it next, coming up on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Hey, what's up, DLLS Mavs Nation? It's your man, Kevin Gray, alongside two fighting children as of right now.
We're fine.
Mavericks beat writer Tim Cato, Mavericks analyst Bobby Curlo. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys coming, your favorite team. In the middle of August, of course, which Mavericks are poised for a breakout season? Plus, how tough is the Mavericks schedule this upcoming year? All that we will get into through the course of the next hour. Appreciate you hanging out with us here on DLLS Sports on this fantastic Friday. Tim Cato, what's going on?
I almost fought Bobby Curlo, but we thought better of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have to come together for the show. For the next hour, we're going to set aside our differences, and we're going to perform as if we like each other. And then as soon as Tanner puts up the "We All City Like the Mayor" thing, it's on.
I've got a new noise rock album I need to send you.
Okay.
I think you might like it.
Don't try to play nice now.
I can't say the name on the show, though.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have some fun today here on this
it's good, though. It slaps.
fantastic Friday. Today is National Relaxation Day, so throughout the course of the show, let us know what's your favorite way to relax, especially as we are entering the dog days of summer.
Fighting Tim Cato.
That's your favorite way to relax, is to fight Tim Cato?
Yes.
That seems like a stressful time.
Watching the show The Bear, very relaxing.
Watching Uncut Gems.
No. Yeah, Uncut Gems. The Bear, then Uncut Gems.
That's a way to relax?
Yep.
I still need to watch The Bear. I still have not watched it, but I heard it. Obviously, it's incredibly fantastic.
You might have a stress.
fine.
I mean, it's very stressful. Just warning you.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Jeez.
it's a good show.
I'm up playing it
It's
too
solid,
much?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a fine show. I need to finish season 4.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Well, you let me know how it
will.
is when you're done. Let's talk about some guys that are going to be upcoming in their new season, this upcoming season, I should say. And which Mavericks are poised for a breakout year. Tanner, help me out here with. We've got some guys working out with new assistant coach Phil Handy, including.
I don't have that one ready anymore. I thought that was the other day. I didn't know we were going to use it.
Man.
All right. As soon as Tanner plays the "We All City Like the Mayor" song, he and Kevin are going to fight.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll see if there's a show on Monday.
We will see.
Yeah.
Well, earlier this week,
See if there's a set left.
we saw footage of Omax Prosper, Jayden Hardy, and Najee Marshall working out with new assistant coach Phil Handy. Jump shots, ball handling, all kinds of stuff. And it got me thinking, which Mavericks are poised for a breakout year? Is it Max Christie? Is it Brandon Williams? Who that we aren't talking about right now could be poised for a breakout year this upcoming year?
It's quite possible the answer is none. No one. So what's a breakout year to you?
Someone who takes a leap, someone who had potential, show flashes that they could be a starter, could be a contributor off the bench, and is ready to take that next step in their proverbial game.
So I go through the roster, and I think Derek Lively, he doesn't need to take a leap. He needs to get back to where he was in the NBA Finals, where he was, a borderline top 75 type player in the NBA, in my opinion, in terms of the impact he had on both sides of the court. I think that's possible. That to me is not a breakout year to him. I look at Max Christie, and right now, I do think he's going to find his way into the rotation one way or the other. Right now, I worry he's on the outside in, looking into the rotation. He was in the rotation last season. He was playing big minutes. I want him to get back to that point. I want him to grab a role, like force Jason Kidd's hand. Say, it doesn't matter if I started the season as the 10th man in the rotation, 10th man on the roster. You have to play me. I'm this good. But that's who he was last season. Jaden Hardy, if he became a rotation player, that would be a breakout. I don't know how good I feel about that, but that would be a breakout. Omax, same. Feel even less good about that. Dante Exum, like he's a little too old. So I'm going through. I guess the only player that really fits this for me is Brandon Williams. And he just didn't play enough games at the end of the year to quite call like if he does what he did at the end of the season for an entire season, that's a breakout to me. That is him taking another step, because right now he's on a minimum contract. Right now, a non-guaranteed minimum contract that we all think the Mavericks will guarantee, will have him on the roster, and quite frankly, he should be in the rotation to start the year as the backup guard. He played great down the stretch of last season, but doing what he did down the stretch of last season for a whole season, for 50 games even, he did not play 50 games of meaningful minutes. So if I have to choose somebody, I think that's the guy, unless you want to consider Cooper Flagg. Can Cooper Flagg be a breakout candidate? Is that how that term works?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think so, actually, because expectations are already pretty high.
Right.
I would say, Lively can, I don't know if he would be a breakout player in that he's sort of bursting onto the scene, but what he could do, let's do a little wordplay here, is break out of the, whatever the opposite, kind of the negative version of expectation is, this sort of cynical understanding and belief that he's just an injury-prone guy. He can
kind of break through the clouds that have kind of enveloped his career right now.
Yeah, he can break through that and into the dawn and say, no, I can play 70 games. I'm not going to miss, 3 weeks for this and 2 months for that. And, a lot of that, let's be honest, is out of his control. It's not like he's choosing to get injured or whatever. But, that is the mark against him, and that is, I think we kind of all sort of accept that that's part of the reason, and including the fact that Daniel Gafford is just a good player, but that's part of the reason that the Mavs gave Daniel Gafford such a beefy contract, even if he is ultimately the backup for the whole balance of it, is that you kind of expect Lively to miss 30 to 40 games. And that sucks, because I think that he's one of the best centers in basketball. And so if he can, give you 65 instead of 45 or 72 instead of 52, that really changes the trajectory of your team. And personally, from a reputation standpoint, that helps him break out of that sort of label of injury prone, and could help him in negotiations next summer. So it could help him break out of making $6 million into $26 million. Otherwise, yeah, probably Brandon Williams. We're not really embracing debate today, but Brandon Williams, I think, could be a guy that could not only break out of non-guaranteed minimum dude, but also he is the starter until Kyrie comes back and deserves mid-level money, if not more, next summer.
D'Angelo Russell might have something to say about that.
We're not disagreeing. We're just defining. We're trying to define what breakout means.
Well, if you're
Mason Moneyball in the chat mentions Najee.
Yeah.
I don't know how Najee could do more than what he did down the stretch of last season, and I don't know how he could get that opportunity again.
I mean, he's going to have big minutes this year as far
Is
as
he?
I think so.
How many?
20 to 25 minutes, I think is going to
But that's a lot less than he was getting for months to end last season.
Well, yeah, with the roster the way it's changed, yeah.
He's going to get rotation minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing there.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it'll be interesting to see how much more his game expands. But, I'll go with Bobby's wordplay here in terms of someone who needs to break out, their particular funk or situation. The forgotten man on this team is Caleb Martin. You don't have a lot of point of attack defenders on this team. Max Christie being one of them. Caleb Martin arguably is probably your best one, especially coming off the bench as well. And my man was not able to shoot capably an NBA jump shot once he got here. Obviously, he was dealing with injury in terms of the hip injury when he first got here, and really had limited opportunities due to what was in front of him, but more so just wasn't playing very well as the season went on. So he has a chance to kind of break out of his proverbial funk, if you will, to be a real contributor to this team because this team, point of attack defensively, doesn't necessarily have it. And we saw what he was capable of when the Miami Heat went to the NBA Finals a few years ago. I think Caleb Martin could fit that breakout moniker if we're going to play a little wordplay when it comes to this situation here.
Mason Moneyball's argument, since I mentioned Najee for him, he says he thinks Najee has more in his bag. The Mavs need his playmaking with Kyrie out. It's possible. It's definitely possible. I just don't know if I see it. I think that he is a solid playmaker. I think that he showed a lot of bag last season. I just don't know if there's more coming that we didn't see last season. Maybe a little bit more efficient. I think the one thing we could definitely see is a little bit more jump shooting. I saw some video. Maybe it was that video going around where he was shooting a bunch of threes. That's great. I mean, everybody in the summer hits a lot of threes, especially if you're doing a super cut.
Including Derek Lively.
Yeah, if you're doing a super cut of how many made threes you made, I mean, it's going to look good. But that is an area he could improve. And then if he takes like a full level up of his three-point shooting, that could have a downhill effect on his downhill scoring. So
I think, speaking of made threes, it's interesting to me that some of the guys that are over 30 on the Mavs can still sort of be deemed breakout candidates. Like, and I'm sort of talking about it as if like shedding this reputation or a label or whatever, kind of like I am with Lively. Klay Thompson last year, like statistically, he was like kind of fine. He was pretty good, whatever. But it didn't feel like, I mean, even in December, we were talking, fans especially were talking about like, man, it doesn't really feel like he's making much of an impact. In this system that the Mavs are about to play, where it's going to probably be much less spread pick and roll, much more half court handoffs, maybe a little more movement on and off the ball. Klay has a chance to shine, so maybe he could break out and say, "Hey, I might be 34 or whatever, but like I still got a lot left." You know, Anthony Davis, much to the chagrin of people that like this basketball team. The other day we were referencing an NBA.com article that said like Anthony Davis is one of the 5 Americans that can win MVP. Like, he could break out of the whole thing of like, you can't be the best player on a good team. You're just not that guy, pal. And I think up here on the set, we agree with that sentiment to varying degrees. I would say we're not all in agreement on it or whatever completely, but you know, if AD is a really, really good player and this team is a top 6 team, yeah, like he's going to get a lot of awards consideration, and it also implies that he's healthy, which helps him break out of that label too. So I think maybe breakout, like I'm not thinking so much about it as an emerging player. I'm thinking for this team more of like prove it, like show me, prove everyone wrong, like prove me wrong. Shoot, I've said a lot of stuff about this team.
Yeah, break out of the narrative.
I did not say the T. You don't got to edit that out, Tanner.
Yeah,
I caught myself.
I mean,
did you say that Klay Thompson is 34?
How old is he?
He's about to be
35 and 36 this season.
Yeah, he's about to turn 36.
All right, well, never mind. He's done. He's
if we're gonna go,
you should be in Home Depot.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow. Let's just go all the way down the road then.
In which case, bring it right to your house.
To break out. I would love for this team to break out of the training room and stay healthy. That would be the biggest thing for me if we're talking about a little bit of wordplay on this. Yeah, let's just break out of the training room and stay out. And to the point about Anthony Davis, if he's going to be healthy and playing for this team this year, if he's playing 65 to 70 games and this team is in the realm of the top 5, top 6, yeah, we're looking at a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. We're looking at an All-NBA candidate and potentially an MVP candidate. That is how good Anthony Davis still is. I don't know where this conversation is coming from about him being underrated or anything of that nature, because this is still objectively a top 15 player when he is healthy and on the floor. So he can do a lot to raise the expectations for this team if he, again, stays healthy, which is a big question for him and this team this upcoming year. But there are a lot of players that have a chance to make real impacts on this team, because this team is going to be navigating a difficult Western Conference this upcoming season, which we will talk about coming up next here on the DLLS Mavs podcast, where we hop into Cato's Corner. How difficult is the Maverick schedule and what it means for them this upcoming year? All that and more coming up next. But it's game time here on our program today. If you love going to basketball games, football games, concerts, all kinds of events, Game Time is the place to get your tickets. Wings are hosting the Los Angeles Sparks tonight. Me and the family are going to go out to College Park to watch Paige Beckers take on Cameron Brink and the Los Angeles Sparks, and we're able to do so with Game Time Picks, which enables you to filter out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They've got all-in pricing as well, so you know exactly what you're going to pay before you get to checkout, and they got panoramic seat views, so you can pick out the perfect seat for you and your family to enjoy your night out. They've also got the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So make sure you take the guesswork out of buying your tickets with Game Time picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Remember, terms apply. Again, create an account and use code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it, gentlemen?
Game time. So we all got goals. We all got credit card expenses. And we're all investing in something, whether it's a savings account, a checking account, stocks, bonds, your 401k, your IRA. Oh my God, you got high yield savings, you got your CDs, you got everything. Your money is in like 1,000,001 different places. And it is an absolute pain in the butt to track all of that, but not with Monarch Money. This is your personal financial command center. It is named Wall Street's Journal Best Budgeting App of 2025. I use it. It is great. If anything happens to my money, it's like, whoa, buddy, what's going on? You moved your money around. You got to let us know too. Or sometimes it'll let me know things that I don't even know about my investments, which is great. Financial stress is one of the top reasons that relationships fall apart, cause a lot of personal stress too. So just take it easy on yourself, treat yourself, and spend your money more wisely. And Monarch Money is going to help you do just that. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code DLLS at monarchmoney.com. Again, that's half off for your first year with code DLLS.
Let's hop into Kano's Corner here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. How difficult is the Maverick schedule and what it means for them this upcoming year? Plus, a little bit later on in the show, PJ Wash has got a contract situation coming up. We'll examine his situation and what it means for the Mavericks this year as well. But Tim Cato, who's got a brand new piece up on DLLS.com, let's talk a little Maverick schedule here.
Yeah, but I don't even have these stats in it because I found them today. Would you guys like to know the strength of schedule and where Dallas ranks for all the games they're going to play next season? So I believe the methodology from positiveresidual.com.
I guess we don't get to answer if we would like to know that or not.
Well, I paused and you didn't say anything, and I didn't want dead air.
You got to learn the power of the pause, Tim. Sometimes it's just good to sit in 2.5 seconds of silence.
I do that sometimes.
That was half a second.
Mm-hmm. It's not learning on the fly here.
Kevin, that was 1 second.
Sitting in silence is great for podcasting.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're serving the audio listener right now.
My podcast app actually has a skip silences.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
That is a lot. Oh my God.
I've turned it off for some podcasts because I do want it to come back. I used to be a 1.4 speed listener. I'm not that anymore, except for very specific podcasts where it's more you guys are not interesting in what you say. I don't want to say the podcast. I can tell you after.
Is it the DLS Mavs podcast?
No, but it's I view this as an info dump into my brain. I'm not really entertained by how you're saying it, but I'm curious what you're saying. I can tell you what podcast after the show. So was that 2.5 seconds?
No.
Gosh, whatever.
Yeah, you better not finish that.
Oh, wow.
The Mavericks have the 5th toughest schedule in the NBA next season. The 5th.
The 5th toughest?
5th toughest.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this based on last year's standings? Or
I believe the methodology here is based off last year's standings, which is going to be imperfect. The San Antonio Spurs, which Dallas obviously plays 4 times, it's going to be a better team than their record last year. Whereas the
Celtics and Pacers,
most notably, certainly other teams are going to be much worse than the record that they finished with last season. Dallas, right now, when you tally up all their opponents, all those opponents have a winning record of 50.9. So we're talking marginal differences because every team plays a very similar schedule. Every team plays every team in the league. You're not going to have a lot of variance. This is not the NFL. This is very different than the NFL. Just for fun, and I feel so bad about them, would y'all like to know who has the worst strength of schedule?
So the toughest? It's probably one of the really bad teams. It's probably Utah or Charlotte or something like that.
Right, because they can't play each other.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's the New Orleans Pelicans.
Ooh.
Yeah,
geez.
I just feel bad about that one.
Ooh.
Their opponents have won 51.7% of their games. That is pretty.
And it's interesting
bad.
too because the Pelicans and the Mavs are both in the Southwest Division, which last year did not have a strong showing. The Pelicans and the Spurs and the Mavs all finished below 500. The Grizzlies finished a skosh above 500, and the Rockets were like pretty good. The Rockets won like 52 games or something.
Yeah.
Like wasn't that good of a division last year.
So the bottom five, the five toughest schedules: the Pelicans, the Blazers, the Suns, the Warriors, the Mavericks. They're followed by the Spurs, the Grizzlies, the Kings, and then you get to the bad East teams where it's the Nets and the Wizards. The easiest schedule goes to the Denver Nuggets, the New York Knicks, and
the Nuggets.
Yeah,
they play in the West.
They play in the West, but according to this, they have the easiest schedule. And again, there is a little bit of random variation in terms of which teams in your conference you play 3 or 4 times, so that can affect your schedule a little bit. This also has the number of games with a rest advantage or a rest disadvantage. So are you playing a game where you've had 2 days off, but the team you're playing is on a back-to-back? Something like that. And so it just tallies up the number of games. And so Dallas only, they get 11 games where they have a rest advantage. There's a couple teams in the league.
That's a lot, actually.
That is a lot. There's a couple teams in the league that get 14 of these games. Dallas only gets 11. But Dallas only has 7 games with a rest disadvantage. That's a +4.
That's
huge.
Huge.
Tied for the most in the NBA. Yep. There's only one other team, the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bugs. That'd be a crazy name. The Milwaukee Bucks also have a +4 in terms of rest advantage games. Dallas has 11 with a rest advantage, 7 with a rest disadvantage.
That's actually huge for the Mavs. They're normally negative in that score because typically, especially like West Coast teams, like far West Coast or like the Northeast teams, they will generally come through like this sort of Texas, Oklahoma City region or whatever, like one time. You know, they'll play all those games. So they'll pass through another time at some point, but typically what's going to happen is teams will play in Dallas first and then in Houston the next night or in San Antonio the next night because like Dallas is closer, so you land your plane here, hop on the plane, go play the other game. Or sometimes you'll come to Dallas first and then go to OKC afterward. Dallas is rarely ever the second leg of a Texas two-step, and so it is very notable that they actually have a positive score because as far back as I can remember, which is 2013 is how long I've been getting this stuff, they've usually never been better than like even or maybe +1. +4 is like completely unheard of.
Another tiny quirk, we mentioned it yesterday, Dallas doesn't lose a home game, or at least as of yet, they have not lost a home game because they got assigned the home game in Mexico City. Detroit got that game assigned as a home game. So Dallas still has 40. Now, last season, they only played 40 because both games that got scheduled after the in-season tournament were scheduled on the road.
It was rigged.
It was not rigged.
It was rigged.
No, only the lottery was rigged.
That's right.
Yep. The road stuff was
cool.
Actually,
it was like a makeup.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was like, hey, we're going to rig the lottery for you, so you only get to play 40 home games
I'll
this
play
season.
43 this year if it gets me to Bonson.
Adam. Thank you so much.
Bring AJ to Dallas.
But yeah, there are 6, there are 6 teams that are going to play international games. Dallas is one of them. But only 3 of those teams lose a home game because of it. And that is Orlando, Memphis, and Detroit. And even though Dallas is in this trip, it's a easier trip. It's just down to Mexico City. It's a far easier trip than they're playing in Paris this year, right? I'm not crazy about that,
Couldn't
right?
tell you.
I believe they're playing in Paris. The other 2 teams, there's 2. I did not Google
Mexico
this.
City still is far, but what the big one is less so getting there, and it's more so who you play right afterward. And if memory serves, after that game, the Mavs play Houston. Yeah, the last time they went to Mexico City in 2019, they left Mexico City and went all the way to Minnesota.
Really?
Yikes, man.
Yeah, it was a
I didn't make that late.
huge travel day, or maybe it was like, I don't know, maybe they flew from Minnesota to Mexico City, but I just remember it was a absolute beast.
I went to Mexico only on that trip.
I just absolutely lied to you
and
guys.
I stayed an extra day.
What am I thinking about then?
Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking about at all. That doesn't sound right to me.
No, because there was some like they got stuck on the plane. It was like a 15-hour travel day or something.
Maybe
it was
it's
like
the polar vortex.
I heard horror stories about
Remember
that.
the polar vortex?
I was in Detroit for that.
Yeah, I skipped Detroit. I was hanging
cold.
out in New York. It was 7 degrees, and I was at a pool hall, and then
Where do you think this story is going, Kevin?
Jake Fisher told me Kristaps Porzingis got traded, and I said, "Stop effing with me. And he's like, no, really, check your phone. And then I'm like, okay, I have to go home.
I was in Detroit for that, and Dwayne Price dragged me outside because he swore that if you like took a couple drops of water from a water bottle and flicked them, that it would freeze before it hit the ground. And so he insisted on me filming him trying to do it. And it never worked. He couldn't get it to work. And I was like, dude, I'm so cold right now. Like, we have to go inside.
Not only y'all were cold, y'all were hella bored, clearly.
So I don't know why I'm thinking about this. The Mavs did make some ridiculous flight from somewhere to Minnesota for some reason. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just completely got that wrong.
So lastly, we mentioned how many national TV games Dallas Mavs had yesterday on the show. But we did not mention which teams have the most. And Kevin Gray, I think you're right. I think that you are soaring ahead of us. You are allowed to take as many victory laps as you would like, because we were correct. We were all correct about the top 4 teams that are going to get the most national team. Dallas has 23. They're 10th. The top 4 was what I believe we predicted. It's the Lakers, the Warriors, the Knicks, the Thunder. Not surprising. Not surprising to me at all. It's the 3 biggest teams plus the NBA champions, the best team in the league. The team up right after that is the Timberwolves. They're tied with the Rockets for the 5th most games. We talked about who had the most star power. And to be clear, again, I didn't disagree. I just wasn't sure if the NBA viewed Anthony Edwards as like the 5th most marketable player. And then I kind of made a whole argument about like the in-game dunkers. But tied with the Rockets, the Minnesota Timberwolves have the 5th most national televised games. The top 4 had 34 apiece. All 4 of them had 34. The Rockets and the Timberwolves both have 28. And then 7th is the Nuggets with 26. 8th is the Celtics with 25. It's a lot for them, but they are a premier market. Still too many, but a premier market. Then the Cavaliers round out the top 9 with 24. Dallas comes in 10th with 23.
I honestly thought the Mavericks would fall into the 25 to 30 range as far as nationally televised games because of the Cooper Flagg effect with him being the number 1 overall pick. But
San Antonio isn't in this either.
Yeah, San Antonio, I think, had 22,
An even more, game-breaking, physics-defining, not even a prospect now, 3 years into the NBA.
Yeah.
He didn't even get that bump up. If Kyrie Irving was healthy, absolutely, I think they would be. But I don't know. I don't think Cooper Flagg alone gets you more national TV games than Victor Wembanyama gets, even if Dallas is a slightly bigger market, slightly more notable television audience, etc.
I have to take a little victory lap here. All right. I was hard on myself on camera. Now I'm going to defend myself. It's always important. Balance something negative you say about yourself with something positive. 2016, the Mavs went to Mexico City to take on Phoenix. The game before that, they were in Minnesota. So they flew from Minnesota to Mexico City, which is like a, 7-hour flight or something. But it was in the middle of January, and so the plane wings were frozen. So they were on the plane. They had to de-ice the plane on the runway before they could take off. No, I was not on the plane. I heard stories. And it was, by the time you get to the Mexico City airport and then you go through customs and then you take a car to the hotel, which is like a very long drive.
It is.
It was literally like a 15-hour travel day or something. It sounded hellacious. And then also notably, 2 games after that on the ESPN.com schedule, it claims the Mavs played the Bulls on January 17th and won 99-88. And then you click on the box score and everyone had 0 points. So I don't remember that game happening. I'm not sure it is real, but yeah.
You don't think it's real?
I don't know. Is this a Mandela effect?
You're the resident Mavs historian here, so you should be all over this.
I should be. I'm gonna do some investigation.
But yeah, I mean, Anthony Edwards is, he's a star, man. But I think more so when you look at the obvious in terms of who got the most nationally televised games, and then you start looking at who the next stars are behind them, I think it makes sense when you've got Nikola Jokic, Anthony Edwards, obviously Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and then the Kevin Durant effect in Houston is going to be very interesting to watch this year. They were the 2 seed last year, and now they've added Durant to this team, and what that does for them in their national profile, because we're going to see a lot of Kevin Durant in the Houston Rockets this upcoming year. But interesting when it comes to the strength of schedule for this team and what that means for their chances, because the Mavericks going to have a real difficult schedule this upcoming year, and we'll see how they navigate it.
Yeah.
I remember that game. Wes Matthews hit a go-ahead 3 with 12 seconds left on a pass from Darren Williams. I actually do remember that. And then with just a few seconds left, and then I forgot that D-Wade missed a jumper at the buzzer, because that's what that guy does.
I have a new segment idea.
What's up?
So our new segment is Kevin and Tim talk about one subject, and then Bobby, the whole segment, talks about random games from like 7 years ago and just randomly
just checking in
interjects.
from 04. Y'all remember this, right? I forgot about Wes hit the big 3. It was like it was Dirk. It was D-Will Dirk pick and roll. I think like D-Will made some move and then he like slung it out to Wes. I remember that play actually.
Coming up next on the DLLS Mavs podcast, PJ Washington's got a contract situation coming up. What does it mean for him and the Mavericks, and what his role looks like this year? All that and more coming up next. But first, we want you to become a diehard member here at DLL Sports. The easiest way that you can do that is to take advantage of our best offer right now. $36 to join us here at DLLS Sports by clicking the QR code if you're watching us live. But also, if you're listening, go to alldlls.com to take advantage of our best offer of the season. Cowboys have broken training camp, but you can still take advantage of our training camp special. $36. You get a free t-shirt as well, and access to our member-only Discord. Tremendous content from Tim Cato, of course, covering the Dallas Mavericks. Clarence E. Hill Jr. covering your Dallas Cowboys. Sam Shapiro. Nope. That's
Sean
Sam
Shapiro.
That's right. Yep, I was going to get to it. Sam. That's
Good old Sam Shapiro.
Sean Nessler.
right.
Yeah.
Sam Nessler, Sean Shapiro covering your Dallas Stars, and of course, the legend Jeff Wilson covering your Texas Rangers. You get access to all of that and more, plus 20% off of our events. And the easiest way you can do that and support us here at DLLS Sports, we are just 800 subscribers away from reaching 30,000 subscribers here at DLLS Sports. We're going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary here in 11 days. We want to get to that 30K mark before that. So tell your friends, tell your family, go hit the subscribe button. If you're new here, we've got everything covering your Cowboys, Mavericks, Stars, Rangers, and Dallas Swings. That's right. We got our Dallas Swing show that's what we had yesterday here on DLLS. So again, let's do that hockey, Ardell. You're right. AllDLLS.com, but the easiest way you can help us out here, subscribe to DLLS Sports. Join the 29,200 plus folks and join our family.
You get the Discord, you get the Die Hard card, you
That's
get
right.
a free shirt when you sign up, you get a discount on other gear. We're always dropping new shirts. It's there's a lot of bennies. There's
You
a
get
lot
our
of bennies
love and
to being a
affection
diehard.
as well.
Undying. That's
Yeah.
right.
Eternal.
Yep.
Let's continue here on our program today on this fantastic Friday. What's your favorite way to relax? It's National Relaxation Day. So let us know your favorite way to relax. And
Fighting.
Can I ask you all a relaxation question?
Sure.
All right, and you can feel free to not answer it, but
Okay.
when y'all get
That's a weird setup.
well,
very curious
well,
where you're
'cause
going.
I was going to let it breathe, but
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah. When you get home, are you pants off? What's happening? Are you changing into shorts? You changing into sweatpants? You changing into jammies? You just going straight undies?
This is
Or are you?
Tanner's favorite
There's
show by
no
far.
way you're sitting at home in jeans. There is no way that you're at home in jeans in the middle of August.
In the summer, I switched to shorts.
Yeah, I switched to basketball shorts.
Like, is it like a within 5 minutes, or is it like you'll get to it when you get to it kind of thing?
It also
For
depends-
me, it is a priority.
It also
Like, it's-
depends on if I'm, am I headed back out? Like we kind of run like a lot of our shows are at noon, 1. Sometimes maybe I got to run to the grocery store. If I'm getting home at 2 and I've got stuff at 5 and I'm keeping the same outfit on, although I'm an outfit changer, I'm happy to go through 3 outfits in a day.
Oh, wow.
Like,
okay.
You're gonna
like,
keep
show
pants on
outfit.
if you're going out 3 hours later.
Wow.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh
In
my
the summer, not
God.
always, but yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think 2 to 3 hours is reasonable.
But
if you're
always
going
shorts.
back out again.
Because I want the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just be wearing pants that don't have pockets all the time.
No. Just like he asked if we went boxers only.
Oh,
you know?
okay. Got it.
Briefs.
I just think I mean
Also, that's just
that's a
odd.
great way to relax.
Yeah.
Like jeans are warm. It's hot. It's like windows are just emanating heat. It's just like I need I need to get disrobed. You know?
Okay. We're talking about our favorite ways to relax. There's like, where's this convo going?
Where do you think it's going?
It's a relaxing conversation. Let's talk about something that may not be relaxing for some Mavericks fans because they're going to be thinking about it here in the next couple of weeks. PJ Washington, 2 weeks from today, is eligible to sign a new contract extension with the Dallas Mavericks. That would be 4 years, a little over $88 million that he is eligible to sign for with his new extension. And with that being said, there may be some shakeup in the lineup this year with Cooper Flagg, of course, and his addition to this team. PJ Washington, former NBA Finals starter, of course, a couple of years ago. Last year, played 57 games, averaged what was 14.7 points per game, shot 38% from three, and shot 45% overall from the field. Dealt with ankle injury, dealt with some injuries that kind of kept him in and out of the lineup. So as we look at this year, Bobby, I'll start with you on this. Where do we see PJ Washington in his role this year, given what the roster now looks like, and him being in a contract year if he doesn't sign an extension potentially?
Well, I mean, I'm not mashing the panic button, but I've said it once. I'll say it again. Like, I've said it more than once. I never shut up.
Well, it's kind of our job not to.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think that, I think the best version of the Mavs starting lineup, probably, assuming everyone's healthy, probably doesn't have PJ Washington in it. As far as balancing, shooting, playmaking, with still some size and defense and everything. I think if it's between PJ and Clay for a lineup that's going to be out there for 6 to 8 minutes to start the game, I want the shooting. Now, you can come off the bench and still average 28 to 30 minutes a game. And if you do that, you could get more notoriety than you would if you started and played 28 to 30 minutes a game, because you could get an award for it if you play really well. But I think it is a little risky for a player going into a contract season to take a bench role, which is deemed a kind of a demotion based on what he's done over the last few years in his career. And
he started
in Dallas
5 NBA Finals games.
Yeah, and was like an indispensable piece of that thing. And that was 1 year ago.
Yeah,
that's
right.
1 year
in
ago.
a couple months.
And so for him to move to the bench, especially if the team isn't very good this year, or certainly isn't going to be a finals team. I mean, maybe they will be. Who knows?
And he'll get a bunch of starts because Anthony Davis is not always going to be healthy.
Sure, but I think that his role is going to descend if that's the case. Like in the eyes of the league. And if you don't have the security of a long-term extension to sort of, kind of negate any lost earnings you could get potentially by coming off the bench, then that could lead to discontent. It could lead to some stress, some anxiety, some anger. It could lead to get me to a place where I can start. And so, it's a very delicate situation. That's all I can say.
I've got a point and a question for you.
All right.
So a lot of times players will come off the bench and they'll be the sixth man. They'll embrace that role. They'll be seen as a starter. They'll be told they're a starter. Hey, you're going to get starters minutes. In almost all of these instances where you have a starter level player as a sixth man, they have a clear path to close every game.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, when Anthony Davis is healthy, as things stand, there is not a clear path for PJ Washington to close every game.
Oh, they can close small.
Unless Anthony Davis is always going to close the game at center.
Yeah.
Which then brings you to a question that I have for you. When the Mavericks released the schedule yesterday, it was noticed by me. Not surprising. It's the most obvious thing ever. We expect the starting lineup, or think the most obvious starting lineup. It's going to be, when Kyrie is healthy, it's going to be Kyrie, Clay, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively. We talked about the finals. PJ Washington started the finals. Daniel Gafford started in the finals. These things happen barely a year ago, or just over a year ago. This graphic has 5 guys who are not PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, who started in the NBA Finals last season, or last year. I guess my question is, how much input is there into graphics that teams put out? I am not trying to make a story out of this. I think this is, if I were put in charge of this, if I were in the role of, hey, design a graphic for the schedule, I would put these 5 players. I don't think there's any controversy.
They're getting the memo. Don't include the guys we're trading for LeBron.
Okay. So they're looped in on that type of stuff?
Yes, absolutely. No.
Is there ever, and this isn't about this graphic specifically, how much is there ever guidance from PR, from the front office to the digital team, to the PR team about, hey, we're highlighting these people, we're not highlighting these people. For example, another example was when they replaced the graphic at the American Airlines Center after the trade last season. It was Anthony Davis front and center, and Kyrie was like second fiddle.
I would say, well, I only have experience working at the Mavs, so I don't know how it works at other teams, but very, very rarely was there ever input from PR or basketball ops. Generally speaking, most of the time this is unspoken, but it's just kind of understood. If you make a trade to get a new player in here, you're supposed to kind of pump that guy up quite a bit and include him on all your stuff.
I am happy to say, like I know this for a fact. There was guidance from the front office to business side on the Maverick side,
yes,
to promote Anthony Davis following the trade.
Yes, that was absolutely true. But also, it would have happened anyway.
Yeah, of
but
course.
To the degree that they did, they were definitely encouraged or told. I mean, here's how some things work. So going back to, I mean, the Mavs still do it every now and then, but like we used to, whenever I was there, we used to wrap a lot of like dart buses and dart trains or, billboards and all that stuff.
Still do.
Yeah. And for more than a few of them, the person who chose who was going to go on them was me. Some marketing person would just ask me, hey, who's like our 3 most popular players? Or who's the 5 most popular players? Or like, hey, this ad is going only in the US, but this one is going internationally. Who are our most famous players like around the world versus who are our most famous players only in Dallas versus the US versus whatever? And sometimes those answers change. Usually they're the same. But a lot of it is just like based on a guy's Q score. And, especially with this team in particular, like Klay Thompson is a Hall of Famer, top 75 guy, whatever. Even if he doesn't start, you're going to promote him because he's Klay freaking Thompson.
Dating Megan.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Very famous person. Kyrie, it might not play at all this year. I think he's going to play quite a bit, but, he's Kyrie Irving. Even if he was out all season, you'd still probably throw him in there too. Just because you want your most famous guys. You want the guys that are going to make people want to hit RT or hit the like button or hit that repost, or you're going to be like, oh my God, I forgot they have all these great players I love. I want to buy tickets right now, I think people would get more excited for Klay than they would get for PJ Washington.
What's really funny when I'm looking at this graphic?
It better be.
I think Klay, Kyrie, Derek Lively, and Cooper Flagg are 4 of the 5 most popular players on the Dallas Mavericks. If they only went by popularity, I think PJ Washington would be in place of Anthony Davis.
With Mavs fans specifically, maybe.
Because of stand-on business, because of everything that he represents.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not how this was made. This was the right 5 to choose, again, if I was in the same role. So to bring it back to PJ and what his
there
role...
were times. I will say, sorry.
I cut you off.
The only time that when I was working there in 10 years, that I worked on something that was like potentially sort of public imagey kind of thing, and was gently asked to change something, is whenever it was like at the Mavs ball or at the season tip-off luncheon or whatever, they're introducing the whole team one by one. And sometimes like, well, why is this guy ahead of this guy? Like put this guy a little further down or a little further up the list or whatever. So that was the only time, the whole time I worked there, that anyone, had anything to say about stuff I was doing.
So I mentioned that PJ and 6-man, like if you're a starting level 6-man, you usually have a path to start, or you have a path to close. You have a path to close games, and you have a path to get 30 minutes some way, somehow. If PJ Washington, if he is coming off the bench to start the year or when the team's healthy, it would make sense to get him at 4 minutes, 5 minutes. But I do think that I've penciled it in for 30 minutes. Like he's basically going to play whenever Cooper or Anthony Davis is not on the court. That's still a tricky rotation to balance, to juggle. And it might lead to some long stretches for him. And I think that there is a notable, enormous reputational feeling that players get from starting. But there is also a feeling of confidence and confirmation that they get from closing games. And
you want to be out there.
And if there is a path for PJ to close games frequently, when the team's healthy, when Anthony Davis is healthy, that probably does mean that the centers are not closing the games. And so not only is Daniel Gafford, who has wanted to start and deserves to start not on this team, it may not make sense. It does not make sense because Derek Lively is a better player. But there are not, there are 10 teams that definitively have better centers than Daniel Gafford, maybe 15, if you really went through it. So if PJ is closing games and centers are not closing games, that means even fewer minutes for Daniel Gafford when the entire team is healthy. And so between these two guys, if PJ Washington's role is everything it can be in the six-man role, I think that's going to minimize Daniel Gafford. If it's flipped and Daniel Gafford is always getting half the center minutes, even if he's not starting or closing, I think that's going to minimize PJ Washington's role. The solution is just that the Mavs are super injured again. And I don't think anybody wants that. I don't think that's a good solution. It is a possible solution. It is something that could happen. But this is not at all me trying to speak anything into existence. And we get 2 weeks from now, and that extension, when it's due, when it's eligible to be signed by PJ Washington, it just may be signed. And the hope is for every team going into every season is for there not to be drama.
Yeah.
And that is certainly not something that I am predicting or speaking into existence or saying these guys should feel this way. But you do see, if 6 months from now we're talking about something involving PJ Washington and his role, or how he got traded because he just wanted to be a starter, he wanted to be a de facto starter on a playoff team, which he absolutely is in his rights to want.
Sure.
It's not crazy to see that happening because we can see the very initial starting, the groundwork for something like that happening. We can see the groundwork for it happening now. And that's just, it's going to be something for Dallas to manage, to juggle. And it's going to be a challenge for Jason Kidd. He's always got buy-in from the players.
Yeah.
He's got to get buy-in again. And so that is one challenge going into next year.
It'd be interesting to see if PJ Washington decides to bet on himself, because there will be several teams in the summer of 2026 that will have significant cap space to be able to sign a player like PJ Washington. But we will find out here in the next couple of weeks. Let's take our final break.
Including the Los Angeles Lakers.
Let's take our final break here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. When we come back, let's take a look around the league, and plus let us know the best way that you like to relax. All that and more coming up next.
Can I talk about the event?
You may.
All right. 10 days from now, that is Monday, August 25th, from 7 to 9 p.m. That is Central Time. Live from the DLLS studio, or really in person from the DLLS studio in Victory Park, Dallas. Gonna be hanging out with me. Gonna be hanging out with maybe the DLLS Mavs crew. Y'all gonna be here?
Yeah, we'll be here.
As long as I'm in town, yes.
As long as you're in town.
Am I invited?
Yeah, Tanner, you're invited.
Perfect. Cool.
You're part of the DLLS Mavs crew.
I'm gonna have my notebook and pen and paper too. I'm gonna be taking notes.
Yeah, school's gonna be in session. We're gonna be watching some Mavs film. Gonna be learning some stuff about the NBA. We're gonna be learning some stuff about the team, some of the new guys, some of the old guys, everybody in between. You can be hanging out with us. You can be hanging out with, I think, some of the people from the other shows are gonna be here too. Just lounging, hanging, relaxing. It is an event for diehards only, though. I must say, it is only for diehards. So if you're not a diehard, do the thing Kevin was talking about. Scan that QR code. Whenever Kevin was mistakenly calling him Sam Shapiro. Sam Shapiro will not be here. Sam Nessler might be. Sean Shapiro definitely won't be. He lives very far away. But become a diehard. There's a little fee. It's a $10 fee. We're gonna donate that to Big Brothers Big Sisters. We're gonna give you some food. We're gonna give you some bevs. It's gonna be a good time. Q&A. It's gonna be really, really fun. So I hope you're able to make it. alldlls.com/events is where you go. And you'll see the event listed there again. alldlls.com/events. I also posted a link in Discord recently. I'll do it again here soon. We'll probably tweet out the link at some point as well, but hope you can come join us. It's going to be a great night of frivolity, esoterica, informationioni, and basketball and companionship and community. What is better than that, Kevin?
Nothing.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be very relaxing.
No, it will be very relaxing. It is National Relaxation Day. Let us know the best that you like to relax as we finish up here on our show today. We'll take a look around the association. We had the NBA schedule fully released for all 30 teams yesterday. Make sure you check out Tim Cato's latest piece on alldlls.com as he breaks down the Dallas Mavericks schedule going into this upcoming coming season. But we've had some other things circulate around the league as well, including the official selling of the Boston Celtics, the NBA unanimously approving the sale of the Boston Celtics, a record-setting sale, of course, as the Boston Celtics were sold to the Chisholm Group for $6.1 billion.
I actually bid more, but they just chose to go with
the owners voted to not approve your sale.
Yeah, they were worried.
They were like, we decline.
Yeah, they found out I had a shellfish allergy, and that didn't really vibe with the whole lobster thing.
Whenever a team gets sold, does that money go to the owners? Does it go into like the BRI? Do the owners get a piece of that? Do the players get a piece of that? Where does that money go? Or does it just go to the owner, the previous owner? Like that's it?
Yeah, it's a transfership between.
So like, why would the owners need to vote on it then? If it's just a deal between two people, like, should we get the owners to vote on trades too? Like, stay out of my life.
I mean, it's a club. They're voting to.
It's a big club. Yeah. You ain't in it.
I mean,
it's not a big club.
It's a very small club, but we're definitely not in it.
Didn't one time Mark Cuban try to buy the Chicago
Cubs?
Cubs, yeah.
Got declined.
Yeah, and they were like, nah, man.
I think he tried to get the Rangers
on the
too.
Rangers, whenever that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think he recused himself from that one.
You think he would have traded Jurickson and Profar?
I
don't know. That's
not
who
a
did they trade him for?
Profar did not turn out to.
I know.
He's
pretty good year last year, didn't he?
He's better
but
now.
He's not Luka. He's not.
Yeah, I
know.
Of
course not.
Have they ever had a Luka prospect like Josh Hamilton?
Profar was the number one prospect in baseball.
Yeah, at the time.
Right, Josh Hamilton is obviously not.
He wasn't a prospect.
He was a decent.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
I mean, he had one of the best seasons I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else who kind of fits the bill.
Oh, they had plenty. I mean, they had plenty of like great pitching prospects that they traded away that end up being good, including one that won on the Cubs. I can't remember who it was. But
Kerry Maddox.
Kyle Hendricks.
No,
I just named the only Cub pitcher.
That's not even Kerry Wood is who you're thinking of.
Oh, damn.
Greg Maddux pitched on the Braves.
Wow.
Different, wrong. Well, no, Greg Maddux did have a stint.
Everyone tune in and listen to us try and talk baseball.
Yeah.
See how long we can
just
get.
Guys naming dudes.
That was my mistake for clearly bringing that up. Clearly.
Rafael Palmeiro. Juan Gonzalez.
What are you doing?
Hank Blaylock.
Okay, now this segment can be you two talking about basketball while Tim randomly interjects with baseball. Like
Chris Davis,
Bobby
noted
did
Rangers
Mavs.
killer throughout the course of
Yeah,
his
but started
career.
playing for them.
Yeah, that didn't work out well.
No, he was fine. He was like one of those quad A guys. Nelson Cruz.
Are y'all going to be tuned in this weekend to the Pokemon World Championships? They start today.
Where are they taking place?
Anaheim, California.
Is it like kind of like an
California.
in-person thing?
You can watch on YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah.
Are you gonna relax?
I don't
while you
really
watch?
know that website.
I
well.
will absolutely. I'm as soon as I get home, I'm turning it on.
I'll
Are
probably
you
watch
relaxed though, or are you like yelling at?
I'll
the
mostly
screen?
be relaxed. I'll mostly be relaxed.
Do you think the Pokemon should unionize?
What?
I don't. That's a good question.
I feel like they're being exploited.
They do work for the largest grossing franchise of all time.
They
They
actually
have nothing to show
they
for it.
kind of have a severance thing going
All
on.
they do is get pimped out.
where they get sucked up into a little Pokeball.
I'm glad you
and then
put
all
it
of a
into
sudden they
Pokeball,
just
right?
appear. They appear out of thin air. Their consciousness reawakens. Other than Pokemon Yellow, where Pikachu falls behind you,
Tanner,
and then you just have to
Oh,
work.
there are a lot of games where they follow you now.
Tanner,
Oh,
on a scale
okay.
of 1 to 10, how much is this your favorite show?
Oh, 11.
11, got it.
yeah.
Mason Moneyball 41. I was speaking about Chris Davis that started with a K. Noted Rangers.
The Oakland A's.
That's
was he
right.
an outfielder or
Outfielder.
No,
Shortstop?
I didn't
Outfielder, yeah.
even know that Chris Davis is in multiplied.
Dude, that guy was a menace to this team.
It's-
Him and Corey Seager's brother, Kyle Seager.
Kyle Seager. Yeah.
Those two guys.
Yeah.
He has there's multiple Seagers too.
Yeah.
Yes. Come
Unbelievable.
on, Kato, lock in. man.
I have heard the name Kyle Seager. I guess I've never.
I'm trying to think of like the Mavericks equivalent. Like Chris Davis killed the Rangers, like how.
But the thing is, like, Chris Davis had a couple good seasons, but for a lot of his career, he was just kind of a dude. He was.
But
kind
every
of a dude.
time he played against the
Oh, it
Rangers,
became Hank Aaron.
yeah, every time.
Super real
Andre
quick.
Miller? Didn't Andre Miller always kill the Mavs?
53
like, every
point. But
time?
imagine if Andre Miller had
Yeah.
like 12, 30-point games against the
Yeah.
Mavs in his career. It'd
I
be like,
actually
what the
just
hell?
saw a list of the most random 50-point games that has ever happened.
I bet Tony Delk is on there.
He is on there.
Yep. That's a former.
most.
Well, he's a
random
former Mav. At the time, he
50-point
scored 50 something. He was a
games,
former.
NBA.
He was a
I think it was a Reddit
future
post.
Mav. So
You guys want the list?
I mean, why not?
Why not? This is relaxing.
This wasn't the one.
Right, exactly.
I'm not doing anything this whole show. This is the most relaxed I've been in months.
Let's see.
It's Friday.
Number 10, Damon Stoudemire.
Oh, wow. How many did he have?
For random, I feel like that guy was a good player.
Yeah, he was actually a good player.
He was averaging 16 points that season.
Okay,
He did it in the 2004-2005 season for the Portland Trail Blazers. Number 9 is Brandon Jennings. He did as a rookie.
Bucks and 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Number 8 was, according to just some Reddit poster, his username is Jimmer ate my pasta. We're going to assume that's not a euphemism.
Please mark that. Thank you.
Willie Burton. You ever heard that name? I've never heard that name
Nope.
in my life. 94-95 season for the Sixers. His
not.
career points per game average was 10.3.
Wow.
To do that in 95,
Yeah,
score
no, it's
50 in
serious.
95
Yeah,
as like
serious,
as like a 10.3 score. 09-10, the Trailblazers, Andre Miller. That was the game he had
I
against
watched that
the
game
Mavericks.
live with my roommates, and
I was at that
I
game.
did too.
very mad.
You were at it?
Yeah. I need to go back and look. I was at a Mavs Blazers game in 2010, and I remember him going off. So unless he had
Yeah.
another really good game, yes, I was at that one.
The number 6 game on this list was Sadiq Bey, who did it in 21-22
That's
for
a
the
former
Pistons.
future Mav. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
I
about that.
wanted the Mavericks
Hit a
to
bunch
draft
of
him so
threes,
badly.
right?
Yeah, he hit like 10 or 11 threes.
Yeah.
They
Tony
could
Del-
they could have chose Bane, Maxey, or Bay, and they went with Josh Green.
Sadiq Bey had a worse career than Josh Green.
No, I'm just saying, like at the time, it
Yeah.
was just like there was a lot of guys to choose from. They went with the dude with
And
no
nobody
jump
was
shot
picking
from
Desmond
Arizona.
Bane right there. I still didn't get that. And that's not saying Desmond Bane was going to become Desmond Bane. I was just certain that Desmond Bane was at least going to be like an 8th man. And then he developed his mid-range stuff a lot more than people expected. Tony Delk is number 5.
Atlanta Hawks.
Corey Brewer is number 4.
That's another former Mav.
Former Mav.
Mavs are well represented on this list.
Career points per game average of 8.7. He did that
Doyle
in the
Raiders' favorite player.
2013-14 season. Also in the 2013-14 season. Do you guys remember another random role player?
I don't know where we have 3 minutes left, so just go. ahead
Terrence
and tell-
Ross.
Ah, that's
Oh,
a
wow.
former. That's a former future Mav.
Did he do that as a Raptor?
He left the Mavs
Did
at
that
the
as a
altar.
Raptor.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose
Oh,
in
yeah.
2018-19.
Okay, I
That's when he
remember
was
that
a
one.
Knick?
He was averaging 5.6
Or
points per game.
Memphis. Was that Memphis?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. That's all.
Yeah, he
That's
came off the bench from Minnesota
Don't
and just
remember that.
randomly went
Yeah.
off for 50 points. I have a vague memory of it.
Tibbs
And then
loved
number
Derrick
1,
Rose in Minnesota. Yeah. I
This is the
remember.
correct number 1. This is the most baffling 50-point game that has ever happened. 2 seasons ago, Malachi Flynn went for 50. He has a career points per game average of 5.3.
Wasn't he one of the guards?
Evil
taken-
Dante DiVincenzo.
Wasn't he one of the guards taken before Stephen Curry in that draft?
No.
No. I'm thinking
No.
about Johnny Flynn.
Yeah.
Johnny Flynn.
Very
So-
different player.
Yeah, very different player.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you're
no,
right.
no.
Malachi Flynn had a
Malachi
he
Flynn.
had a
That's
pretty.
right. Yeah, I'm thinking about
Yeah,
Johnny.
that
That
was
was
2
in
seasons ago.
2021, right?
23-24.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, that was 2 seasons ago.
He had a
So,
couple really good games against the Mavs over the years. He had
Yeah.
one during the COVID season. It was right at the end of that season. The Mavs were playing the Raptors.
By the way, just real quick, the reason we brought up the Celtics ownership sale and then talked about everything but the Celtics ownership sale for 10 minutes.
Correct.
Wick Grossbeck is not going to remain governor for 4 or 5 years like was originally announced. So I wouldn't say apology, but maybe we owe... Actually, we don't owe Mark Cuban anything. He
No.
owes us money for all the coverage we have done of him. That has
wow.
been nice. But
no, that's something that they clearly negotiated. If it was originally reported as such, and now it's not, things change.
Yeah.
During
Yeah.
sales. So
Now, if they get Jeannie Buss out the paint in Los Angeles,
if
okay, maybe, but
if Jeannie Buss does not remain in charge for the years that she's supposed to remain in charge,
yeah.
I am willing to concede that there is nothing Mark Cuban could have done to remain whatsoever in charge in any capacity of the Dallas Mavericks upon selling them.
Yes, the Blazers have been sold recently. Actually,
The
a few days
Blazers.
ago.
The Blazers
the
as well.
person that
yes.
bought them is from here?
Yeah, SMU alum.
Oh.
Tom
Interesting.
Condon.
Is it George Bush?
No,
Is he
Tom,
back in the sports ownership game?
Tom Condon. That's
Tom who?
Condon,
What does he do?
like a Uber
I
billionaire.
guess he
of some
owns
sort.
the
Durex, apparently.
Has lots of money.
football. What?
He owns the Hurricanes currently, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Real
Oh,
quick,
okay.
remind everyone to watch Uncut Gems. Reminder.
That's right.
Okay.
We will be reviewing Uncut
that
Gems
next
this
Probably-
coming Wednesday.
We'll discuss. Might do it Tuesday.
Tom Dundon. Tom Condon was
Dundon.
Peyton Manning's
That's
agent.
agent.
I was like, I've
Yeah.
heard that name before.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
Dundon.
can't believe I got that
I'm
joke
sorry.
out and nobody registered it.
What did you say?
I'm not going to say it. I shouldn't have said it.
Thank
All
you for
right,
correcting
I'm
me.
10 seconds from kicking your ass.
Well, 10-9. No, I'm just joking. Appreciate it, guys. Tanner, make us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir, for putting up with us today here on this Friday afternoon. We'll be back on Monday at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy and have yourself a relaxing weekend on National Relaxation Day. That's Bobby Corella. That's Tim Cato. I'm Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you Monday. Have a good weekend. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.